Hey, so this is not the video I planned on making this week, and it's a video that I kind of thought I was probably going to have to make, but I really didn't want to. And if you haven't guessed, I'm talking about trans and non-binary kids in school specifically, because as you probably know, our administration has decided to rescind the guidelines that the Obama administration put out, I think just last spring, about how to deal with transgender kids in schools. And those guidelines were pretty great and pretty simple, really. Treat kids with respect. Like, that's the baseline. And I'm not actually going to say a ton about this. I do want to say, if you are a kid, teenager, young person who's in school and you're trans or non-binary, genderqueer, gender non-conforming, there are a lot of adults that have your back. There really are, myself included. And the good thing is there are a lot of out trans adults in ways that there haven't been in previous generations that really are not interested in standing for this at all. So hopefully that gives you some hope. I hope you can walk through the school's hallways with your heads held high, proud of who you are. I hope that you are in schools where the administration and the teachers and the other students treat you with respect, like they should. But I know that's not reality for every single person out there. So just know that there are people definitely fighting and working for your rights. If you are interested in advocating at your school for good transgender, non-binary policies, I'm going to put GLSEN's model policy in the description. It's really great, so I'm not going to really go into what it talks about in detail, but it's a really great model to work from. And if you work in a school, if you are a teacher, an administrator, a support person, I'm a school counselor, intern person, hopefully you're on board with supporting your trans students. And I really think a majority of educators and people in this field are, which is good. But also, if your school does not have a good policy or any policy, or you're not sure if it's a good policy for how to deal with transgender students, even if you're in the most rural of districts and you think it's not going to be an issue for you, eventually it will be, and you've probably had transgender students before without knowing it. Also, in the description, GLSEN's model sample student policy. Again, a great framework to work from, and please show support of your LGBT students. Hopefully you're doing that anyways, but maybe go out of your way a bit. I think that got announced on Wednesday. Today's Friday. I know it's Saturday for you. And one of the students I work with he's trans, made a comment about now the law has changed and he can't go into the bathroom. Here's the thing, the law has not changed. The interpretation of the law, historically, has been on transgender people's sides, which is great. The guidelines, which were great, have been rescinded, but that does not change the law. There are some things up for debate in the courts right now, but nothing has changed legally. So hopefully that gives you some hope and some inspiration, and this is not a happy video, because I'm not happy whatsoever that I have to stand here and talk about treating kids in school equally and with respect. And if you don't know how to treat someone with respect, how do you want to be treated? Do you want people to call you your actual name, and do you want people to refer to you and see you as the gender you are? Probably. Do you want people to not hassle you for using a public bathroom or for just being yourself? Like, that's it. For the sake of keeping this short, I think I've said what I need to say, what I want to say. Again, if you're LGBTQIA youth, you have support out there. Feel free to reach out. And one more time, in the description, I'm putting GLSEN's model policy. Now is the time, as a school district, to get this kind of stuff in place, because we don't know what's going to happen with the law, and you want to have good precedent set in your school building. So that's it. Hopefully you have a great weekend and can enjoy it and only be mildly upset about what's going on in the news on a daily basis. I'll talk to you next week.